Ronan, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
So 3 years in a row. Thank you very much. You were there the first time, 28 January 2016. You came back last year and you are still there. I love to have partners and big bankers who love us. So thank you very much. At first Paris Fintech Forum, you came to explain your vision. And I must say that, for those of you who don't know Ronan, he was, I think, the first one more than 10 years ago to express publicly in newspaper, because the problem with newspaper is you write, so you can find back. So to express that his vision in digital. So at this time we were making fun of him because everybody says it's because he's just nearby the sea, in Brest, for those of you who know geography. And on the opposite, he has other competitors, so you have to go digital, because otherwise no growth. But reality is, you applied your vision, you developed a lot of digital services, and you bought many fintechs. Tell me, where do we stand today after all those acquisitions? Because buying fintech is nice, but we've seen in the course of these 2 days that sometimes some banks buy, but they don't do so many things with them.
Okay.
So after all those acquisitions, all this business with fintechs, where do you stand today? What has changed in Crédit Mutuel Arkea? How did you make something with all of that?
In fact, I think I could say that we are going to launch new products, new services using the fintech partnership we made, or using fintech we bought 2, 3 years or 5 years ago. But I think the most important thing is different. The most important thing for me is the state of mind it created in the company. When you have to work with fintechs, the most important thing you see is that flexibility, ability to have an IT platform as the state of the art, the capacity to stick to the customer's needs are very important. And if you look at the bank industry, often we have forgotten the clients, the customer. So for me, the most important thing, when in 10 years we'll have a look of the partnership we built now, it will be the state of mind we have changed now. And for me, if you look, in fact, at the way bankers are dealing with the relationship with the clients, they have forgotten that the most important thing is to stick to their needs, to have a platform, an IT platform instead of the age, to be able to be flexible, etc., etc. It's not, the most important thing is not business, in fact. It's the mindset you have when you work with them, for me.
Yeah, but I understand the strategy. But, okay, I think you cannot even count on the number of fintech you've bought. 20, 30,
yeah.
I don't know. Most of the time you take majority stake.
No, minority. Minority? First minority, and after
majority. Often majority. So, did you manage to really merge the blood? Because I don't want to name other banks who have tried, because it's not nice for them, but where we still see a few years after, nothing happened. Okay, they bought it. What's next? Okay. Did you manage to gain something in your company from that? Gain technology, gain assets, gain market share? And did they manage to go quicker thanks to you? Do you have good, clear example, not just sentence?
In fact, fintech is still very young, I think. So what we have understood, and I think it's the beautiful asset we have, is that we have understood the most important thing is customer. And in fact, you can get him one time. You can make some organizational synergy whenever you want. And I think that the mistake you don't have to do is to try to make a lot of synergy between all your business, between all the fintechs, because you have to let entrepreneurs focus on getting new customers and new clients. But at the present time, for Litchi, for Pumpkin, for Linkso, and all the other fintech, about more or less 20, we just try to let them work, focus on their business. We try to make some synergy, business synergy, when it makes sense with them, but we never try to make some organizational synergy on IT platform, on, I don't know, maybe offices or things like that. I think it could be a sort of mistake. Sometimes, for me, it sounds like a reflex, a banker reflex. In banking industry, we love to make some organizational industry because we forget something very important, it's the client. And so, when we have to work with company, we think that the most important asset is synergy we can make. For me, it's a mistake. We have to let company develop themselves. We have to let them focus on the business. In 2, 3, 5, 10 years, maybe we will make some synergy. We think that we are building a sort of financial hub with all this fintech. We are trying to make some little synergy in business, but at the present time, We are just letting them focus on the business. It's the most important thing. And it works. I think that's the reason why it works. We don't try to integrate them. We try to make some connection.
I understand what you say between the fintech and your bank. Something which is striking me is you have like 20, you said? 20 fintechs?
More or less 20.
But I travel a lot to organize this event. And when I go, for example, in Germany, something they are very good at is working together between fintech. So you will see Valentin Stahl, for example, from number 26 was there yesterday. I'd done many deals with other German fintechs to integrate them inside. And not only German fintechs, but many German. You have an exceptional position because you have stake in many fintechs. But I don't see so many of them working together, like the fintech club of Crédit Mutuel Arkea.
Yeah.
Do you try to make them work more together because we are stronger together?
We are trying to do it, but it's a very difficult thing to do because I was a boss of Fortunio 10 years ago, and I know that it's very difficult to make your business grow. And if your boss asks you to work on something different from your business, maybe you will be not the best in your first business you have to deal with. So for us, when you ask our fintech to work together, we try to find some subject. I mean, maybe life insurance for Linkso, because with a PFM you are able to provide new products. It can many things. When we work with Grisby, for instance, Grisby is a platform in which we can use other products of our partner, our own products, asset management, life insurance, damage insurance.
So revenue and so on. Yeah.
Yes, we try to do something, but this is not the most important thing to do. You know, when we bought Litchi, it was a fantastic company, but there were a lot of things to do to make Litchi grow now. And Céline Lazort didn't want. It was right, a good thing to make some synergy which could avoid to grow his business abroad, for instance. So we are trying to do it, but it's a sort of cherry picking, you know.
Céline was there today on a panel where she was with other fintech who sold to a bank. I think the question was, I sold my company to a bank, what's next? But I was not at the panel, you see that on internet. Let's move a bit around other subject. We hear many bankers afraid by PSD2. I won't name them, but for example, if you open a newspaper 3 months ago, you had a big page saying, bankers ask for postpone of PSD2. It's a bit like if you call someone and you say a tsunami and say, please postpone this tsunami. I mean, it's arriving, it's done. And this morning we were surprised because CEO of BPCE said, no, it's an opportunity for us too, not only for fintech. What do you think in your position?
I think it is a huge opportunity for us. Why? Because basically we are a regional bank. We are Arkea is a retail bank with a position in Brittany, in southwest, in center of France. And so if we want to grow, we have internet, we have Fortunio, we have fintech we are working with. But if we think about PFM, and if you think that bank accounts are becoming commodity, so you are able to reach a large base of customers using a PFM. For instance, Linkso, because we are one of the shareholders of Linkso. And for us, basically, with our regional positions, it could be represent something very exceptional in order to make our business grow, in order to connect our insurer, our asset manager to this platform. For us, it's something very incredible.
Understood. So PSD2 is more an opportunity for you too. What kind of new services, additional to the one you just mentioned, Arkea will offer to the market in a post-PSD2 world? Do you have already a strategic plan where you say, okay, thanks to this thing, next year we could do that? For example, this morning, Mr. Perrault said, okay, last year I said I will do Fidor Bank. Finally, I don't need. I will use PSD2 and I will do Fidor in France with PSD2. So what do you use also leverage this new regulation to offer new services, really concrete new services to your own customer base?
For me, in fact, PSD2 is a sort of Trojan horse, you know. I mean, if you have this platform, for instance, Linkso, which is a PFM, which can help you to aggregate all the bank accounts of your clients, you're able first to connect your own product on the platform. You're able to connect product of partner on the platform, and you're able to make something which will be the future of the bank, of our industry, I think. It's becoming a sort of financial hub, you know. I think it's you don't have to think with some reflex of bankers, meaning have all your products integrated in the value chain. You have to think that you are in the center, you have the customer position, with Linkso, for instance, and then you are able to offer your own product, you are able to offer the product of your competitors, and then you get all the value with the clients. The most important is the value you can create with the client. Whatever you can connect with your own products or products of competitors, it's not a problem. For me, the most important is to get close to the customer. It is something bankers have forgotten in the past, I think.
Let's stick a bit on that subject of getting close to the customer. I'm just looking at the time, we have 4 minutes left, so I can add another question. So, your customers are not only dealing with you on digital, you have branches. We had different bankers here during these 2 days explaining some of them are closing more branches, some others are just changing the way they work. How do you manage this digital transformation in your branches to make all your customers having the same experience?
If you look at the value chain of banking, in fact, you have two main topics to deal with. First one is transaction, second one is operation, third one is relationship with your customer. Transaction is everything you can do with a device. Opening an account, transferring cash, dealing with your insurance, etc., etc. Operations are all the interactions you have every day with your clients. Email, a call, WhatsApp, Facebook, letter, etc., etc. And relationship are the reason why your client wants to get close with you. For us, all transaction will be digital in 1, 2, 5 years. Today you can have a mortgage with a device. Today you can open an account in 9 minutes if you are in Crédit Mutuel Arkea. So it is not the aim for us to have some operation in our branch. We are sure that all will be digitalized in the future. Operations want to be the Amazon of the bank, because in the past, 2, 5, 10 years ago, bankers are not the best in order to manage this sort of interaction with the clients. We all know the letter we receive at home, which is a sort of nightmare, you know. So we have a lot of work to do and to improve the quality of this operational relation we have with our clients. And the third one, relationship with our clients. We think that the more you digitalize the relations, the more you need to have a good physical relation, interaction with your clients. But if you try to do the same thing as you do with a device, you will lose the relation. So you have to be concentrate to digitalization of all the transaction. You have to improve the level of operational interaction with the clients, and then focus on some key moment of the life of the clients. When the birth of one of your children, when you have to buy an apartment, when sometime you have to for your wedding, etc. You have to be present at this moment without digital. But digital must be the key subject to deal with all the transaction.
Thank you, Ronan. I will ask you the last question. We know each other for, I think, more than 12 years. Listening to what you say usually, I don't even know if you are really, you want to be a banker or you want to be a fintech entrepreneur?
I don't know. It's a good question. In fact, let me just tell you a quote.
They are recruiting, you know, in fintech, so.
Let me just tell you a quote of Dalai Lama. Dalai Lama said, if you think that you are too small to change the world, just have an eye with a mosquito, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. Arkea thinks that mosquito will change the world. And we think that it sounds like working with fintech can be a way to change the world and to make our business change. So we are going to create a lot of relationship with fintech. Maybe we're going to buy other fintech, we're going to make some partnership. But we're sure that our industry is facing a huge transformation. Fintech can be a way to deal with this transformation. It's not the only way to do it, but we are sure that this industry, bank industry, a huge bank industry, will have to face, will have to cope with size. Size, the biggest is not the better. And every day, this mosquito, fintech, prove us that you can be small and you can change the world. That's what we want to do, because we are a regional bank, which is trying in this universe with a lot of big bank to create something different, or a lot of type of client promise for the future.
Let's finish on this mosquito image. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Please.